All right, everyone, welcome to another episode of Behind the Scenes. We are here with another Prospects Corner edition. We got Will Klein, right-handed pitcher with the Kansas City Royals. Will, how are you doing today?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're really excited to have you on. We had you on a different podcast, Major League University, when I was working there.
Mhm.
Just talked a little bit about mindset, mental health, and all those fun things. And we've been kind of following your journey, which has been incredible. But just for the viewers who don't know you, just give a little bit of background on yourself.
So I'm Will Klein. I was drafted by the Royals back in 2020. It's kind of where I started this journey. It was a COVID year, so didn't get a season then. And then in 21, we Quad Cities High for us. Had a really good year. I was really excited, really healthy. Everything was going well. And then that next year, I hurt my shin in spring training, and that kind of derailed my entire year. And like you said, like the mental side of things weren't going great then. And I think we talked before that happened and after.
Yeah.
And then kind of had to flip a switch this past offseason and just go back into reset and work hard mode and get myself back to where I was in 21 and obviously make the improvements I needed to make in 22 and make more improvements to go into 2023, hopefully getting to AAA in that major league level. And then so I came in, had a really good year there in 22 or in 23 and AA to start. And then I got moved up right before the All-Star break. And then got to go to the Futures game for the Royals. That was just amazing. Super cool to be chosen by them and then just to be around all those guys that are like the future of their organizations. And so that was cool. And then finished the year in AAA, had a couple rough spots, but I learned stuff from 22 and got myself out and finished strong.
Yeah, I love that. It's interesting to kind of hear you lay out your journey, right? Because I think it's kind of a description of most guys' journeys through the minor leagues, right? You're going to have
Yeah.
those highs, you're going to have those lows as you kind of try to make your way to the big leagues. So I kind of want to start with your time in Quad Cities, right? You all won the championship that year, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
The high A. Talk about that atmosphere, right? It's one of your first years in pro ball. You're going to absolutely dominate some people in the playoffs. What was that like for you?
I mean, that was the most fun I've had playing
Yeah.
baseball in a while. Just like, pro ball, it's a lot of like your own journey. Like you're the one trying to get to the major leagues. Like it's not college ball where you're, like you all go to school together trying to do that sort of thing. And then kind of like seeing the prior like in double and triple A, a lot of guys trying to get that call up. But and that high A team was not like that at all, man. It was like just college or summer ball, whatever you want to call it, but it was fun. It was a team that played for each other, and it was like the best team I'd played on probably ever. Just, I mean, the amount of guys we had, like Vinny, Michael, Michael, Lofton, Porter. We had Tucker in the outfield, Rave in the outfield. We had Zerpa. We had all these we had Parrish and just all these guys on that team that just hit the crap out of the ball, and it was fun to be able to pitch with a lead a lot. But I mean, it was just electric, and then the playoffs were, I don't even remember them, but there was
Yeah.
just how much of a great experience that was, and like how much adrenaline there was going on at that time, and being able to pitch like in that atmosphere that we kind of created for ourselves. Like it was Quad Cities, Iowa in September, so there were a lot of fans, but we had worked so hard to get there, and we kind of knew what it meant to us, and so that helped create an environment like what you might experience with a good turnout. But there's just so much like just having fun and like winning it for the guys instead of like, oh, we won the championship. Like a lot of teams don't want to make the playoffs and stuff, and they just want to go home. And it was kind of cool to be on the other side in pro ball.
Yeah, talk about that a little bit too, because you mentioned how, right, you had that team atmosphere, you had that fun, and I think that kind of probably drives you on the mound and like changes some of your mindset, right? You're going out there being competitive, pitching in competitive situations. So, how do you flip your mindset like during the regular season to get yourself into that competitive mindset on the mound, even though you're kind of just going through the grind trying to make it to the major leagues?
I mean, that's kind of like how you have to be all the time. Like, obviously, it's not the same level as like the playoffs and high, I guess.
Yeah.
It's the same but different. Like that was our first year. Like this is something new and exciting, and now it's like holy crap! Like I pitched well for a couple times. So I'm in the major leagues, kind of excitement, adrenaline, and so it was more so just like trying to stay calm and like trying to pitch where you're at, not like overdoing it almost. Like getting excited, like oh man, I'm so close. Like
Yeah.
just trying to like keep stay level headed and all that with everything that had happened. But it's like it's the same mentality as those games. Like they might not mean the same thing, but like to you and to like the people watching you, they do. And so you got to go out there like ready to put on your best show every day. And obviously it's not easy to do that for 150 whatever games the AAA team plays, and it's a long season. So it's just being able to lock in when you're on the mound, like just take it day by day, pitch by pitch, and just like try to execute with like the most intensity and focus you have every pitch. It's kind of how you stay in there.
Yeah, I love that. You mentioned some of the moments that you had overcoming some of that adversity, dealing with the injuries, some of the struggles, performance-wise. What are some of the things that you kind of implemented for you, whether it was mindset training or other things to really help you get over those or get through them and push through them?
Just like a game to game basis, pitch to pitch. Like I in 22, like what led to a lot of bad ones was letting bad pitches, bad at bats, bad innings spiral into worse ones. And
Yeah.
so like in AAA, like those boys can hit, and even more so at the next level. And so it's like being able to take one bad pitch and all right, it's a new pitch, execute this one. Or a bad at bat, you give up a double or something, or execute this next pitch, get a double play, or strike the guy out, and then get yourself out of this inning, no damage, or even limit the damage after you give up runs, like stuff like that, and not letting it kind of compile. Like I had a lot of big innings in 22, like 4 or 5 plus runs, just because I couldn't figure that out, and so it's just being able to compete every pitch, especially after your bad ones, even more than your good, and so that was huge. And then like an outing to outing basis was just not taking it home with me.
Yeah.
Like I know in 22, I mean, I was coming off that 21 year. I was like, holy crap. Like had a great spring training too. I was like, all right, let's go, like make some moves, get myself to the show this year. And so I put so much pressure on that having a bad outing, I took it home, and that spiraled to more bad outings. And I didn't like, not a bad way took it home, but it was more like just looking back on it almost too much and like trying to overanalyze and like getting just not quite depressed, but not in a good headspace about how each of those outings went, especially if you had 2 or 3 bad ones in a row. And so I don't remember who said it, but it was just like he had kids and a wife, but I have a wife and 2 cats.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing.
Close.
Like to them, I'm not a baseball player.
Yeah.
Like I'm her husband, and then I'm their dad, as weird as that sounds, but it's like I take care of them out at home and her, and it's like it's not baseball. Like I'm not even that a baseball player to them, and so it's like being able to separate those two worlds, and kind of like that helps like calm you down, keep you level, and honestly makes you happy again after poor outings, especially like a poor week and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I mean, we had your teammate Brewer Hicklin on. He talked about some of the same things when he went through the struggles, and he said like the best thing I kind of reminded myself is like at the end of the day when you go home, people who love you still love you, no matter how you do on the field.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you have a bad day, and that doesn't make you sleep on the couch or something. Cats start hating you, like, what the hell did you do? But
Be
yeah,
impressive if the cats turn down you after a bad outing.
yeah, all you gotta do is feed them, give them treats, and they're back on your side. So
yeah.
But yeah, that was the big one for that, and then I just kind of had to shut the blinds on that last year, this past off season, not even think about it. Like I know it was just kind of like the trust and belief in myself, and the support from like my family, my mom and my dad, and my wife. That all really helps, having that support system too. Like that's something underrated. Like I know a lot of people are like going through it themselves, and just trying to find someone, even like teammates, like good friends on the team, help, like that are going through similar things or that have to help you get back onto it. That's like just the biggest thing, the underlying thing that can help you just stay in it, because that's 150 games to grind. So you got to have something worth fighting for it, you know?
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. And I mean, when you talked about too, kind of taking it outing by outing, pitch by pitch, I always go back to Adam Wainwright in the World Baseball Classic because he went out there, loaded the bases with nobody out, wound up getting out of it with only one run, right? So he never
Yep.
let those mistakes get in the way of him. He's like, okay, I got another pitch, I got another batter, new chance, a new opportunity to get out of this situation. So he limited the damage and kind of went on to throw, I think, like a 6 game or 6 inning, 1 earned run.
Yeah.
And you look at it like that, it's like he got himself out of a massive situation that could have been completely negative, but he kept his mindset focused and kind of went on and kept pushing through.
Yeah, I mean, I know there were multiple outings in 22 where I just couldn't do that. You know,
Yeah.
I'd get the bases loaded and be like, shoot, shoot, this outing's already done for. Like, I got
Yeah.
the bases loaded. Like, I already sucked. Like, I can't suck worse, and I can't really make it suck less. So, you know, might as well just keep sucking, I guess. But and then this last year, it's like you have a couple hits, it's like, all right, I'm just gonna strike out the rest of the people. Like, you know,
Yeah.
when bases get loaded, well, I'm just gonna sit you guys down in order. It's just kind of just flipping that switch, being able to like look at it in a different way. Like you said, like the one pitch at a time.
Yeah, the good thing about the Royals too is you have a lot of those mental performance coaches that can really kind of teach you how to kind of get through some of that stuff.
Yeah, we've got a good group. Melissa leading them, and
Yeah.
you know, she's done a great job. I've talked to her a couple times. I know a lot of the guys have had like one-on-one meetings and said it helped a lot, and so it's nice to see them implement that.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of now moving on to this past year, right? You had a ton of success, got to go to the Futures game. What's been the biggest development for you this year? I know you talked a little bit about kind of the mindset shifts, but have there been developments too to the physical side of your game as well?
Honestly, the main thing is just figuring out how to stay ready every day, stay
Yeah.
available every day. Like in 21, I kind of had it where I knew when I was going to pitch. Like, I was the first year pro ball. Like, I knew I was probably getting 2 outings, 4-ish innings a week. Like I'd throw, you know, like Tuesday, Wednesday, and then either Saturday or Sunday or something like that. And so I kind of knew, and I kind of, you know, I knew when I could take my prep days, when I could take my rest days, stuff like that. And then throwing wise, like just when I could go higher volume, when I didn't have to, when I didn't need to stay ready, you know. And then last year I didn't really I wasn't throwing well enough to be wanted every game, you know.
Yeah.
Which is just also a demoralizing feeling. But and so I didn't really have to experience that last year. And so if we went to this year, I was throwing and then 2 times a week every week, and then 3 times every other week, you know. And so I was trying to figure out how to keep my body healthy in double A. And then I got to triple A, and it was even crazier. I know we had like charts that would say like, oh, you're hot today, you're lukewarm, or you're cold. And I think everyone was about hot almost every day. You know, and it was just like throw an inning, all right, be able to get an out or even an inning the next day, or 2 innings or 3 innings, and you've got 1 day off maybe, whereas it used to be a lot more than that. And so it was just really learning how to take care of your body better, and be able to stay in it physically as well as mentally.
Yeah. Yeah. And you could tell that you kind of took that mentality to the mound too, right? Started dominating people again in double A. Got the opportunity to get selected to the Futures game. Kind of take us into that experience, right? That's just an awesome thing for top prospects across the league where they can go to this Futures game, experience kind of like an all-star game basically before they make it to the major leagues. So what was that like for you?
I mean, it was amazing. Like, it wasn't anything I had ever expected that would happen to me. Like, I know you grow up seeing all those prospects go to that. Like, it's almost, when I was a kid, it was more enjoyable to watch that than it was even like the All-Star game. Like,
Yeah.
it was the U.S. versus the world thing, I think, back then. But that was cool to see all those young guys, you know, get to perform there. And so to be able to be part of something I'd watched when I was younger was, I mean, just an absolute honor. And so, I mean, it was also completely unexpected. I don't know you sent freaking AAA relievers to that thing, but
Yeah.
it was so cool to get to be around, you know, other guys not like me. Those guys are levels above me at at like prospect status, but it was cool just to see kind of how they got their game going, how they got ready, and to be in the limelight for a little bit. It was really cool for sure.
Yeah. What was that adrenaline like getting into that game?
Too much adrenaline.
Yeah.
You know, it was like the season. It's like, all right, you got a game. All right, here's another game. Here's another game. This was like you've been waiting a month to throw one inning in this one game that you traveled halfway across the country for. That you're the only guy. It wasn't even like nerves. It was just like there was just so much anticipation around like one game and like just one outing that kind of just got to me a little bit. I wasn't nervous. There's like a little bit of a difference there. It's kind of hard to say, but it was just a little
Like
yeah,
excitement. But
yeah, like overexcited. Like
yeah.
the adrenaline was almost pumping so hard that it was like, holy crap, calm down.
Yeah.
And then I got up there, I was like, holy shit, holy crap. This is it. This is like the thing I've been waiting for this whole time. And then 5 minutes later, it's over. I was like, oh my god, what did I do?
Yeah. And you're on a big league field too for the first
Yeah.
time, basically.
Oh yeah, that was a T-Mobile Park. It was really pretty.
Yeah.
And then I mean, just outside of the game, it was great to have my dad and wife, and
Yeah.
I got a buddy that lives up there in Seattle, my college roommate, and then my other college roommate that lived with us flew out for the game, and so it was awesome to be able to bring them into that experience as well. So it was all around just a blast.
Did the adrenaline give you a record-breaking fastball during that?
It did not. I might have
No.
thrown the slowest pitch that day. I was trying to throw strikes so bad.
Yeah.
It just made it worse. It
Yeah.
was tough. But it's okay. You know, I know people watching that are like, man, this guy sucks. But I was like, I don't suck that bad. Maybe a little bit, but you know.
Yeah. Did you have any coaches or players that you got to meet there that kind of really stuck out to you or kind of gave you some words of advice while you were there?
Well, I remember seeing King Griffey. That was cool.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I can't remember half their names now. There was a Guardians pitcher. I can't. But I mean, just everyone like after was super like, yeah, that doesn't even matter. Like no one even cares about that game. Like it was just like just talking about like the future for all of us. Really, instead of like, oh no, you suck now because you threw one bad inning. It was nice to have like some calmer words after I came out because I was like, oh my god, I suck now after that one inning. And just being around all those like the other pitchers and kind of seeing how they worked and talking to them about how they got ready and attacked hitters, seeing different approaches and stuff like that was the eye-opening.
Yeah, you get that sense of too from a lot of guys who go to the fall league, right? They get to get around these guys and get to learn about what their routine's like and learn some new tips and tricks as they kind of go and move on. But now that we've gotten into the off season, right? You made it to AAA last year, one step away from the big leagues. What are you looking to most improve on going into this off season, but going into next year as well?
Well, shoot, I need to throw my curveball for a strike one time. That's my main focus.
Yeah.
Just refining fastball command. I know it was light years ahead of where it was in 22 last year, and so I'm happy with that. Just working into the zones I need to a little more often. Threw more strikes with it, but just more quality strikes with it. Curveball just needs to be in the strike zone. That's all. I mean, that'll be a difference maker there, especially for lefties. And then just eliminating some waste with my slider. It was a really good pitch, but I got a little too excited to throw it with two strikes sometimes and yanked it and, put them back into the counts when I could have just finished them. And so that's that one. And then just maintaining strength and mobility stuff and just get my body ready for 162 games, hopefully. Plus.
Yeah. Didn't you work on a changeup at one point too, or is that?
I've got a changeup. I got to the mindset where I was like, why, like, what situations am I going to throw my fourth best pitch to major league hitters? And I couldn't think of any unless they 25 pitches deep and somehow didn't know how to hit a changeup. And I guess I'd throw one in there, but I feel like if I can just throw my curveball to lefties, that just completely negates the need for the changeup. And then that throwing the changeup kind of takes away from, working on my slider, which was a huge addition. So
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
need.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now we kind of think about the off season too. We like to focus on, of course, the human side of the game. What are some of your passions away from the field? What are some of the things you're looking to do away from baseball this off season?
I mean, just be a normal person for once.
Yeah.
I know, like the first 3 weeks, I don't think or 2.5, I guess, 2-ish weeks, I didn't touch a baseball or wait. It was nice to just be home and just take it easy, be a normal person, like not have to worry about baseball, like try to kind of turn that off. Obviously, you got to turn it back on, but just we going for a lot of walks, a lot of hikes. There's some cool nature around St. Louis that we've been to. Take some time to play some video games. Go just like visit friends down like Mississippi, just cool stuff like that, and just exploring stuff around St. Louis. Like we saw some buffalo and elk out at preserve, and
Nice.
just outdoorsy stuff like that, and then some video games and other stuff at home. Just kind of forget about baseball for a little bit.
Yeah. Do you have a go-to video game?
Yeah, the only one I play is FIFA, but
Okay.
I lock in on that game for a little bit.
Wasn't sure if you were on the show.
That's too much baseball.
Yeah.
That's so much
You're like, I
baseball.
need a complete separation.
Oh my god, yeah. I played that a little bit, and I was like, I just can't.
You probably got a player card in there now too, right?
Somewhere, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So the last question I kind of ask guys too, one of the two last questions is, did you have a go-to restaurant while you were in Northwest Arkansas or Omaha?
Oh yeah, we went to Cava a lot.
Yeah, that place is delicious.
Yeah, for those that don't know, it's like a Mediterranean Chipotle. That's just got a lot of good stuff. Would get chicken and like a greens and grains bowl, with some pita and some spinach and rice over there, and so that was the best thing in Northwest for sure.
Love it. The last question I always ask. So we want this kind of to be a podcast, right? Fans get a glimpse of the human side of the game, but also for future athletes who might be going through some of the same struggles or things that you went through as well. If you had one piece of advice for like an upcoming athlete, what would that be?
I mean, I think it's like that, the two I said earlier, like the pitch by pitch or like even for hitters too, like the pitch by pitch, like, oh, he fooled me. Well, he's not going to get me this time. Or like, it was a bad pitch. Well, this next one's not going to be. Like, you can take that into just your daily life. Like you have a bad day, we'll do something the next day to make sure it's not bad. Or like you're not like the greatest husband or boyfriend or whatever. We'll do something to like make sure you are the next day. Kind of like that. And then just be able to like see some good and bad. Like a lot of times you look at a bad day, a bad outing, and only see the bad. And then it took me a while, and I needed like my wife and teammates to help like see some good in the bad, like in 22. And then this year it was easier to achieve by myself, but that's certainly something that can pull you out of those holes. Like,
yeah,
if you're only looking at negatives and you're only seeing negatives, there's no way to like really improve from that. If you see some things, like some good things, you're like, all right, I can build off that. Let's go. Let's take that. Let's have a good next day off that. That can really help like turn those bad couple days into a good week, good month. And so that's the big thing I've taken away, and that I guess I can give to others.
Yeah, it's all that positive self-talk, right? Just getting rid of the negative self-talk, flipping the mindset. And it's those little things you kind of don't think about, right? When you're competing and trying to go out there, that when your thoughts are negative, that it kind of just spirals and goes into the next outing, into the next pitch. And when you can pull yourself out of that, that mindset, you can kind of flip the switch a little.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like on the mound, if you're only thinking negative things, you're only getting negative results. Like you could feel as good as you want, your stuff could be as good as you want in the bullpen, but the second you get out there and you start thinking like negative things or like, I can't do this, well, the hitter feel like they're all mind readers sometimes. Like they're like, oh my god, he can't do anything right now, he doesn't believe in himself. And so it's just being able to be positive, or not even like, you don't have to be positive, but just not negative on the mound. Just keep yourself in it, and yeah, just that mindset
Yeah.
of not being negative and down on yourself and just every walk of life.
Yeah, I think that's an awesome thing to end on. Will, we can't thank you enough for taking the time to join us. We always enjoy talking with you about the game, about life, about just kind of mindset and everything else. So we're wishing you nothing but the best coming up in this next year, just in baseball and in life.
Yep. Thank you for having me on. I'm hoping we'll have more of these.